Hi everybody, I'm Melissa Dell, your independent Scentsy consultant. Today I'm celebrating 2 years with Scentsy and it's been quite a journey. I asked my VIPs to ask me some questions about what they wanted to know. Chris Lamb asked me, how did I learn about Scentsy? About 7 years ago, one of my friends was pregnant and I was helping her mom with the baby shower. And as a thank you, she provided me with a gift, and it was this warmer right here, cherry blossoms, because I love them. I actually have a tattoo of them. And so I opened up the box and I looked at her and I said, what is this? I do not know. So she explained to me that it was wickless candles and it was a warmer that you put scented wax in, and she knew I loved candles. So that was my very first time and experience with Scentsy. So Marie-Etta wanted to ask, how much does it cost you each month to run your business? I know some companies make you pay monthly fees to keep a company website, etc. So that's a really great question. Once you sign up with Scentsy, it is $99 plus shipping and handling. Once you receive that, that could really be the last type of money you contribute to your business. Scentsy is really great about offering 3 free months of the website, but you don't need to have your website active in order to be selling. If you want to build a team and work on sponsoring other ladies or gentlemen, then you will have to pay $10 a month for your website, but it's not a requirement. Okay. Jane Lynn asked, well, I'll give one of her questions. How much extra income when you start, and and do you have to get people on your team in order to make more? So when you sign up with Scentsy, the first $1,000 that you have in sales is a 20% commission. So however long it takes you to earn that amount, after that, then you're bumped up to 25%. It is based on your sales before tax and shipping, and that can be what you want. I mean, you have an endless amount of money that you can sell per month and receive your commission on that. You can build a team. You don't have to. You do earn a bit more, but there's other stuff that's tied to it. You have to be promoted to a certain level in order to earn off your team. So for me, when I first signed up, I didn't know if I'd ever get there, so I was just kind of working on my own sales. So I knew and I controlled how much money I was getting. If I wanted to earn more money, then I just tried to share with more customers and friends and family and kind of expand my network. That way I would have that opportunity and not be hounding the same people every month. I think a lot of when you're building your business, there's this whole fear factor that you're gonna fail and you won't really know anybody, which actually ties to another one of Jane's questions. I'll get to that in a second. But I feel like if you have a goal in mind, and I told my team this the other day, I wanted them to think of a goal that they wanted to hit in July, whatever it was, whether it was being active, which is selling $200 in a month, whether it was meeting one new person, and notice I didn't say sell to one new person, I mean meet one new person, to invite them to their VIP group or just their customer base or whatnot. If you have a goal in mind every month, then I feel like you're gonna work hard and to meet that goal, because nobody wants to be disappointed. Nobody wants to feel like that, oh, I didn't do this. And your goal does not have to be huge. It does not have to be like you want to sell $3,000 worth of Scentsy in a month. It could be small, but it's what you set out. And I feel like with anything in life, when you set a goal, you will work really hard to meet it, because that's just how we are. We're people pleasers. We want to feel good about ourselves. And so it's just kind of that extra drive for it. I did not have my first teammate for I think 6 months, and then my cousin joined, and then I didn't have anyone else for a really long time, and my team goes up and down. I think in total, since I've joined Scentsy 2 years ago, I've had at least 10 or 11 people sign up under me, but it's usually only 3 to 4 that have been kind of consistent and staying active. I don't think somebody asked me this, but one question that I know I had was, whenever I've been researching direct sales companies, it's kind of like, what do you have to do to stay with them and to sell? So with Scentsy, you have to sell $200 in 1 month in a 3-month cycle. So let's say, for example, you signed up today, you sold your $200 this month, you would be free to not do anything for a couple months, and then in that 3rd month you would just need to make another $200 in sales to stay active for like the next time frame. So that's why we have like certain terms like kidnappers, which they basically sign up to keep the stuff for themselves, and then just every 3 months they put it in order to kind of just stock themselves. And that's how, like, the minimum stuff. And sometimes people unexpectedly share it and they're like, oh, I love Scentsy, I didn't know anyone that sold it, so I'd like to buy from you, and it just kind of snowballs. Chris Lamb, another question she asked was, are there resources and trainings for new consultants who sign up? What are the business kits enrollment process fees? So for the business kits, like I mentioned, right now it's $99 to sign up plus tax and shipping. When you get your kit, you actually get a lot of stuff. You get a warmer, which right now I believe it's this beacon one right here, which is really pretty. You get 2 Scentsy bars, you get a buddy clip, which is the little stuffed animal for kids that you can hook on a backpack that smells good. You get one of our counter cleaners, you get our washer whiffs, you get catalogs, you get the testers. So in total, your actual stuff that you're receiving from Scentsy is way above that 100. And in July, they threw in an extra $40 warmers. Beyond that, it's $10 a month if you want to keep your website. You can sign for the United States a cross-border agreement to sell and recruit in Canada and Mexico, and that's an additional $5 a month per country. Currently I have it in Canada and I've been paying for it. I don't have anybody in Canada, but it's like, you know, I might have one day and it's another write-off. Jane wants to know, what if nobody buys anything? That would be my biggest concern. That is a very valid concern. But I cheated last night and I wrote Jane back and I'm like, Jane, you've hosted 2 Scentsy parties on Facebook for just your coworkers, and each time you've had sales. But it's a valid, you know, concern. You have to be able to, you know, share with people what you're doing, whether it's giving a small gift or just talking about it, like, oh, I just signed up for this company and, like, you know, you like candles, do you want to try it out? Being willing to just talk to those that you're around. And because of the minimums, you know, you can take a couple months off if you need to, if you feel like you're not tapping into the right audience. But I've done a couple of things. I have a warmer set up at our preschool, and I personally donate 15% of their sales back to them whenever they have sales. And mainly I've just gotten the teachers addicted, so at least I'm able to, you know, give them a little incentive back for the school. And I just have come across different people. I've hosted, like, I think 4 in-home parties in 2 years. My main thing is 30-minute parties on Facebook, which is what Jane has done, and a couple of my VIPs too. It's just a kind of a way for them to expand your client base, potentially, and just talking it up. I mean, anyone that I see that has candles, like that I know of friends and family, I just kind of be like, hey, do you want to try it? On Facebook every now and then, I'll say, hey, does anybody want to try it for free for a week? I'm not very good about talking to strangers. Like, I know there's a lot of people on my entire Scentsy team where they just will randomly talk to strangers in the grocery store. Usually, because I have 3 kids, I don't have that much time to actually shop in there. So it's like I have a list, I go in and I come out. But there's, you know, you never know when it'll come up with stuff. I wear my Scentsy bracelet. These are all of my accomplishments with building my team, sales awards. Most of them are sales awards, personal sales that I've done. So it's just kind of a conversation starter because we all love jewelry, and you see like different stuff like the Alex and Ani bracelets or the Pandora bracelets, and so you're kind of like, oh, what's that? It's different, I've never seen that. So that's a good starter too. Jane asked, how do you find the time and energy to do this with work and family and your kids? So I work full-time. My job is very flexible, and so I am able to work from home in the afternoons. So I'm home when my orders come in, and then when the kids go to bed, they go to bed early. They're in bed by 7:30, and they're usually asleep-ish by 8. I get my stuff done in mom mode, like I, you know, make their lunches. My husband helps out and cleans. My mom lives with us, she helps as well, and it's just a team effort. And at first, you know, my husband, he didn't know how this would work out. Like, he was very hesitant. It took me a long time to actually sign up, from when my sponsor Mary kept talking about it. And when I told him about it, he's like, okay, like, you know, we'll see how it goes. But it was when I started actually, you know, being very excited that I had sales and sharing with family that bought stuff, and seeing the commission checks come in, and they weren't huge, but there was something extra, then it kind of like reinforced, like, oh, okay, like I'll help out a little bit. So whenever I do a home party, he will be there to help watch the kids, and so I can go for a couple hours and take care of that. I also do a lot of Facebook parties because it does take time. If I was to like pack up a party, go to someone's house, You have to do what's best for you. I was listening to one of our training calls over the weekend while I was planning out our week. Like the woman on there said, like, you know, she doesn't like to do home parties and she likes to do something else, and it's like you have to find what you enjoy doing and then doing that. You cannot model yourself after another consultant that you see online, whether you found them on YouTube or it's someone in your group or your teammate or whatever. You have to figure out what it is that you enjoy doing, and that's what I've taken the past 2 years to do. I really like doing the 30-minute Facebook parties. Most of the people that I'm around are busy moms too, and so they cannot, I mean, yes, we would love to have a night out with like wine and Scentsy testers and just kind of chat away, but it's not a reality for a lot of us. So this is kind of an opportunity where you can get your kids to bed and don't have to worry about anything. So another thing Chris said was trainings and stuff. So yes, my team is really great. We are the team Make It Happen, and Becca and Callie do 2 times a week training calls. So on one of the weeknights, it's for new consultants, and it's a good refresher too for consultants that have been around a while. And then on Saturdays, we also have another one, and I don't listen to them live, but they record them, and then I just call in and I can listen to it while I'm making lunches or doing whatever. The way that they're formatted is that the first couple minutes they kind of run through our team numbers, talking about sales, the top consultants, sales for the month, the recruits for the month, and then they go into whatever the topic is, and there's always guest speakers. So there's definitely a lot of stuff there. Our group is very resourceful, but it's all, you know, your self-motivation and what you want out of it. So typically whenever anybody signs up, I always ask them first, like, what is your goal? Do you want it to be more like a hobby, or are you trying to drive this into more of a business? Because then I know like how to better encourage you. It's whatever you want it, but yes, there is a lot of stuff like that, and it's free. And so now more like the fun stuff. So Paula asked, how far in advance do you know about the products coming out? So every month, Scentsy offers a scent of the month and a warmer of the month, and I've shared those videos many times here. So I find out about them on the 1st of the month before. So like yesterday or Saturday was July 1st, so I already know what's coming out in August. And then in August 1st, I'll find out what comes out in September 1st. And we also have the opportunity, if you want, to buy the warmer and the scents ahead of time. So we find out about that. We get a new catalog twice a year. They start September 1st and March 1st. So the month before, in August and in February, that is when we find out what's in them. And they're on our workstations, which is like our entire dashboard back end of stuff. And then and there's also fun things like our Bring Back My Bar specials that our customers and consultants vote on twice a year. So those are the same thing. Like, we know the winners like pretty close to when they conclude everything. They kind of hold out a little bit, but they share with you what it is, and then you've been able to in the past buy the testers just if you want, or you can buy the actual bars. Oh, Chris asked a question following up that. So she asked, besides the voting, do consultants have a say in new products? No. Sometimes when there's like, we have a spot on our workstation where we can offer suggestions, and sometimes they take them and they might do something a little bit different, but they allow it to kind of follow through on our next catalog. Our big thing is like buddies. Like, we have these Scentsy stuffed animals, and so a lot of consultants most of the time are like, go get this animal or get this one, and you know, or bring back old ones, or you know, we do a Bring Back My Bar voting, let's do a Bring Back My Buddy voting, or warmers or something like that. Chris Lamb also asked, what if a scent is something gross and you're not a fan? That happens a lot, because all of us have our preferences and all of us have our dislikes. I do not like super perfumey scents or a lot of the manly ones, but I know my clients do and my customers. So whenever I buy extra bars to give out as testers, like, I expand. Oh, and I also am not a huge fan of the baked good ones. I lean towards citrus and like clean stuff. So, but I still buy them because like I have some customers, like that's literally all they warm are baked goods, like super sweet stuff. So everyone is different, and for my own personal customers, I really work hard to understand what they like and then to be familiar with our fragrances. So if they tell me like, I only really like clean citrusy smells, and then they tell me like, I want to get this vanilla one, I'd be like, that's really not a clean citrus, like you can get it, but maybe you might want to try this one instead. So I try to guide them that way, and that way no one's really dissatisfied. For the most part, most of my customers love everything they order because I'm really trying to help them, and our scent descriptions are pretty spot on. to try to get the whole experience off. So like the only thing, like sometimes I'll say, oh well, it's a little bit more strong or it's a little more mild, so that way it kind of helps them make a decision as well. So the last question that I'm going to go over is something that Chris asked me. She's also my accountability partner with our blogging stuff and our side hustle jobs. And so she asked me what my goals are in 1, 3, and 5 years. So when I started Scentsy, I did not really have a goal. I was just kind of like, I'm just going to try it and wing it. I didn't expect it to be as rewarding as it has been. I didn't expect to earn a free trip to Punta Cana last year. I didn't expect to have help other moms, you know, have some extra side income or a way to kind of find something fun that they like to do. So for me, like the past 2 years has really helped me figure out what is possible. So I think for the next couple years, like my 1 year goal is to, well, less than 1 year hopefully, is to promote to director. Right now I am a star consultant, which means I went from essential consultant to certified consultant to lead consultant to star consultant. So I've gone up to the 4th one. There's a superstar consultant and then director, so I have 2 there, but it's honestly a group effort because I have to be strong in recruiting people, which I don't like to really push it on at people. I just kind of share, and that's how they decide to sign up. And I also have to increase my sales, our team sales, motivate everybody. And like I said before, not everyone is in this to like make a bunch of money, so that's a challenge to try to figure out. But I think beyond that, I want to earn a trip for me and John. So that is the goal that I really want to get him there next year. And I want to encourage other teammates to give them as many tools and tips as I possibly can, so that way they can kind of join me too next year. And I guess just work and see how hard it is. I see how far I can get with it, not how hard it is. I know that it's not always easy. And I just feel like when something is really meant to be, like whether you believe in God or just the universe or whatever, but whenever you believe something is going really well for you, I feel like that's when the doors open. And I feel like I've been on the right paths with Scentsy. I wasn't sure in the beginning how it would work out. It could have failed miserably. I could have just like gotten way over my head, overwhelmed, not figured stuff out, not joined groups, not learned stuff, not take the time to educate myself, and just not succeeded. I've been open to trying different stuff. I'm not being prideful, like my way is the way. I try to take cues from other consultants and our trainings that we offer, and just trying to find the best means for me. And I feel like by doing all those little steps, there's been like such huge strides that I just didn't see possible, but now I know that it is, and so I want to go further. There's a lot of women who make this their entire career, and they quit their day job, and they, you know, they're able to do this and be with their family and provide for their family, and that would be awesome too. But with our large family, it's, you know, it's a little more daunting. But I think that's a goal, is I just want to continue to love it and just be able to do it and make these videos and just kind of have fun with it. And that's like the ultimate goal. If it turns out to like starting to feel like a chore, that'll be the time to pull the plug and just be like, this is not for me anymore. That's it. So thank you for sitting through the super long video. But I appreciate all my VIPs that chimed in with some of their questions. And if you have any questions, just feel free to email me. My email is melissa@byewicks.com. If you have been like thinking about it, all I can say is it took me about 4 months before I finally did it, and it was kind of like the best decision so far for me. I've had so much fun with it, and my house smells really good. Anyways, thank you so much and have a great afternoon.